Good evening, one and all. We welcome you to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India, Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's session. So initially we will take a session and later on we'll go for the commemorations. So today we have with us Ramya S. She is a social work counselor and a project manager in HEED India Public Charitable Trust, and she would be presenting on a lifestyle of food habits among adulthood. So we welcome you, Ramya, to this international webinar series. You can unmute yourself and you can start your presentation.
A warm good evening to one and all gathered here. Trying is better than crying. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. Be a good person in your real life, not in social life. So our source of our life is to be, it starts from our water. So water are the main sources of the living organism in the planet. So here I'm coming to the theme of the nutrition and dietetics. Let us cleanse our body together. This year, I said 5 positive things because 5 positive things which we maintain in our life is very important. So let us cleanse our body. First of all, when our mind, soul, body is free, so when we cleanse our body, that time only we will have to live our present situation and live our whole life. So the theme of the nutrition and dietetics today topic is a lifestyle of food habitat among adulthood. So I'm going to share a screen. So let us share my screen. So before that, I'm going to talk about water. Though water is abundant in biological systems and foods, its free or ready availability is more important for the growth and activity of microorganisms. So the free availability is water. The main source of our first evolution is started from water only. Good. Everyone knows that. I think good. Everyone knows that water is the main sources that we comes from the evolution, because everyone knows that the evolution is Darwin's theory. That is, first one is Homo sapiens. We know, everybody knows that Homo sapiens is the first evolution theory. Comes from who discovered is that who said that? Charles Darwin. So Darwin's theory. So what is the main sources comes from our planet. Then only the soil, water, yeah, gas, and the five main sources are developed. So I'm going to talk about lifestyle of adulthood during these times. These times means in Corona period as well as this hectic time, because here nowadays the people are going fast through the traditional foods as well as junk foods. But traditional foods are very less in percentage. Junk foods are high in percentage. People are likelihood in junk foods because it tempts us by its attractive views, because our food methods are lessly coming to forward, but it comes in only in the specific area, not in all the area. So I'm going to talk about types of diet. So balanced diet, keto diet, paleo diet, low carbohydrate diet, intermediate fasting, low fat diet, plant based diet, raw food diet, vegetarianism, very low calorie diet, dash diet, south beach diet, Dukan diet, dietic diet, low fiber microbiotic diet, high protein diet, recite diet, soft diet, fruitanism diet, cardiac diet, monotropic diet. So these are the types. Gluten free diet. 20 diets are there in the nutrition and dietetics. So coming to this point, I'm going to talk about nutrition. What is nutrition? I'm going to talk about nutrition. Nutrition is nutrition is substance used by organism to survive, grow and reproduce. So nutrition is the main thing that our body should have. So nutrition, substance used by organism to survive, grow and reproduce. Every human nature reproduce, every single animal, and the five senses, four senses, three senses, two senses, one senses reproduce. Even the plant reproduce. So nutrition is the main sources for the body, for the cell, for the structure. So the requirement for diet and nutrition intake applies to animal, plants, fungi and protists. Nutrition can be incorporated into cells for metabolic purpose or excreted by cells to create non-cellular structure such as hair scales, feathers, exoskeletons. Some nutrition can be metabolically converted to smaller molecules in the process of release. Hello, hello, sir. Hello. Coming to the point, nutrition and nutrition diet. So nutrition is the main sources of the organism, or a plant, a fungi, and proteins. So coming to the point, vitamin, carbohydrate, protein, fat, lipids, and minerals. So these are the five things which are kept in the balanced diet, as well as in keto diet, as well as in paleo diet. So when you're going to see about keto diet, a diet high in fat and low in carbohydrate that cause the body to break down fat into molecules called ketones. Paleo diet is an eating plan based on foods humans might have eaten during the Paleolithic era. So paleo diet is nothing but in Paleolithic era. In history, you can see in whatever the Paleolithic era, what have they into that only eaten during the paleo diet. So there are many types of diet. That is 20 types of diet. So which is vary from one to one another. So coming to the vitamins, vitamin A. Vitamin A is very rich in food called many foods. But I'm going to see the what are the cautious things comes under lack of vitamin A or deficiency. What is caused during deficiency? Night blindness. Vitamin A is lacking means it comes under deficiency of night blindness. Deficiency of vitamin A that comes under night blindness. Deficiency of B12, pernicious anemia. But deficiency of B1, very, very nutritious. B2, deficiency mouth and tongue lesions. And vitamin C, scurvy, reduced defense against infection. Next, vitamin D, that is sunlight, rickets. So vitamin E, efficiency of vitamin E comes under oxidation of fat and membrane lipids. And deficient, obviously coming on vitamin deficiency of K is hemorrhage. So coming to the point, niacin, it is comes under pellagra, skin lesions, and deficiency of B6 is atrophy of organs and lack of growth. Okay, we have finished with this. So I am going to talk about in nutrition and dietetic group. Does everyone eating a balanced diet or a very nutritious diet? No. Nowadays, people are not going in the balanced diet. They are eating as their wishes. Like eating in the morning late at 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Is it good to eat at 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock? Our body is like a whole timing. So every part have its own time. See, coming to the point from brain to the food. See, everything has a time. For a digestion, there is a time. For morning breakfast, you should have eat at correctly at 8:30 or within 8:30. You have to you have intake your breakfast, because after 12 hours you are eating your nutritious food or a food or breakfast. You are eating the name breakfast itself. It's shown that there is a break. So 12 hours break, you are eating the food. So 12 hours break, you have to eat the food very consciously. You should have to take one apple, fruit salad, and next whole grains like millet. Millet means kambu, kelvaragu, ragi, samai, tinai. So these are the millets. So there is 8 types of millets are there, and there is a siridhaniyam. In Tamil they said siridhaniyam, whole grains. So millets are there. So these foods are very good to our nature, and fireless cooking food, that is owl. So coming to curd, pomegranates, fruits, vegetables, salads. This is the fireless cooking food, which is very good for our health. So if this type of food we have taken means we will be living at least more than 60 years. Okay. Because our lifetime age is reducing nowadays. In the survey, they have said that lifetime ages of people are reducing nowadays because of eating instant food. Instant food like everything has an instant. There is a instant coffee, instant noodles, instant pasta, instant whatever. Everything comes in an instant. So avoiding instant foods and avoiding fast dunking foods will give your body goodness and healthiest one. Coming to the point, functional characteristics, there's where many things are there. Functional characteristics of nutrition are preservatives. So we are using preservatives and fermentations in the instant things. That is the prevention of microbial spoilages, chemical deterioration, and control for insect and rodents. Nutritional supplements, that is vitamins, amino acids, minerals, and calories. Color modifiers, yeah. In the color only, we all fall in love with that food because coming to the point, what noodles? When we say noodles, noodles and all in the color, we tricolor pasta for Ippy noodle. I don't want to mention the brand. They are still just keep on running their noodles. So color modifiers, flavoring agents. Then foaming agents and maturing, anti-foaming agents and maturing agents, acid, bases, and salt. See, do you know the hydrogen of presence only the presence phosphorus of pH level, that is phosphorus of hydrogen only determining the food. Do you know food as well as the cosmetic things? So we have to see the pH level of what we are intaking our food, intaking in our food. So ripening agent, miscellaneous chemical. So ripening agent to control physiological function in order to hasten the ripening process. Miscellaneous chemical, the other chemical used as a gases used for pressure dispensing. So coming to the point, I'm going to say that you just avoid the food, junk foods. That is that is very dangerous to our body. Our body is like tiny. So from the teeth from the mouth, our digestion is starting. From chum chumming. That is what we say. Yummy, yummy, yummy. You're eating when you eat your food. Just say yummy, 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 yummy. That time you are all the whole 32 teeth will work and it will be just graining the food what you take. So from digestion, that is just starting from the teeth, after that esophagus, and after that lungs, liver, then pancreas. That is the juice. That is the chemicals that is. That just started to working. That is that chemical name is something I don't want to mention. I don't know. If you want, you just Google it. In liver and pancreas, then lastly in stomach, at last small intestine and large intestine. Then it will goes at in anal it goes output of food, that is what we say it does output of food. So okay, coming to the point, it's a time. I said our body is a time. So starting from morning, our breakfast, take on an app one day, one apple away, take away from doctor. So one apple take away from doctor means just take one apple day per day, and that is guava. If you took guava, your digestion process will be very good and you will be going very nice through your day, full day. So eating more fruits, but for that is you should go for a paleo diet or keto diet. So for that is they should go for soft diet or high protein diet, microbiotic diet. So there are 20 types of diet everyone should go through. So ketogenic diet is like what I said already, is that breakdown of fat into molecules called ketones. Paleo diet is in Paleolithic era. So from low carbohydrate diet is like reducing the carbs. If you took more carbs, it will reach to you to blood pressure and anxiety. So low carbohydrate diet will useful for dietitians. So dietitian should go for a low carbohydrate diet. Intermittent fasting diet. Intermittent fasting diet is the it will cleanse our body. Intermittent fasting is cleanse our body. If you fast for 48 days, not without eating any meat as well as fat items, as well as
heavy food like biryani, shawarma, pizza, burger, whatever I said earlier. So if you avoid these foods, this will cleanse your body and cleanse your blood as well as cleanse your whole thing. So if you are good at in intermittent fasting, it will rise up your lifetime age. So low fat diet. Low fat diet means low the fat diet because you're reducing the fat. Fat food means you will reach to many years, living to many years. Plant based diet means you only take plant based foods like whatever the things some plants coming you should you should take me that there won't be no problem in your whole system of your body. Raw food diet means at raw food like salad, fruit salad, and oil free food and low fireless cooking foods. That is called raw food diet. Vegetarianism, that is coming to vegan. Here only I'm coming to that point. Vegan. See, harmfuling one breed of animal and you're eating meat. What is the good in it? It will lead to you. Uh, it will lead to toxic life because the blood of the animal it will give you nice protein and at all giving the chicken mutton and they're giving but our mental illness mental processing and our behavior system will be changing. There is three types of characteristics: sattvic, rajas, tamas. Sattvic means vegetarianism. That will lead to good life and calmness, peaceful life. In sattvic food, if you take these type of vegetarianism, you will softly move your life throughout the year because that why I don't want to tell that is non-vegetarian is not good. I said that if you vegetarianism for 48 days, if you took vegetarianism for 48 days, it will good for your health because vegetarianism is giving that more proteins, more diet. Ghee. For substitute for protein is that pulses are there. Pulses, fiber. Fiber is for good for our muscles. Pulses is good for our proteins. Carbohydrates. Many sweets are there, like dairy milk, dairy products, dairy butter, cheese, and whatever say butter, cheese, milk, and curd and buttermilk. These are the things which will rise your carbohydrates and rise your glucose level. So these type of foods are there. For substitute for non-vegetarianism, there is so many foods are there and so many veganism are there. Nowadays, people are going through life faster. They are running for a technological world. So in technological world, they just put the phone and just type the food and they want, and it comes ordered. Then it will come within 30 minutes. So what is the good in this? If you go to the kitchen, just on the stove and you just keep your what you like food, just go and cook for yourself with a positive mode. Say something like oh, today I'm cooking good for myself. So cooking for ourselves is the best medicine for our life, not to go for a diabetes mellitus or myocardial infection or some other else kidney disease or liver ulcer some other more disease, medical coding disease, some other disease, kidney failure, some more disease in our body now, more disease to upcoming now. This will be reduced by cooking for ourselves is very good at these times because ordering the food from outside they will be using acetic acid. It's a one dangerous thing I'm going to say about the mayonnaise and cheese spread, ketchup, acid pickled vegetables, bread and malt syrup, and for treatment of wrappers, but used on butter. That is parotas. Parotas. Nowadays, the people are using parotas, maida items. Maida is the only one item which kills our insulin hormones, insulin hormones. It kills the insulin hormones. Taking more items of maida, shawarma, this, chapati in maida, it will kill your body. In acetic acid is in the form of vinegar used in mayonnaise, pickle, and pickled sausages. So many sausages are there. A hot dogs in the meat. They're grinding the meats and uses a hot dog and keeping in the burger or in a hot dog and eating more more non-vegetarian foods and meat. Seafood is okay, but it is only for sometimes, not for all those whole years. At least for 48 days you should be in a fasting in your body, because your body needs rest, because your body is on digesting whole day. Your heart is working for all the 24/7 times, so you should give some break to these type of things. I don't say that vegetarianism only good. I said vegetarianism also good and non-vegetarian also good. But eat for your good health. Eating vegetarianism good. Non-vegetarian seafoods are very good. But mutton, chicken, beef, you are killing a certain group of breed and eating it is not okay. I'm not saying that. It will kill you suddenly by increasing your cholesterol level, fat level, because mutton has more cholesterol and chicken has more proteins. But the proteins and all comes by injecting injections, because chicken and all comes from only injecting the injection, only growing within 18 days or 24 days. It is growing small from egg per day. Egg is very good for health, but for substitute for egg we have so many foods. Avocado is a great fruit that will reduce your fats and carbohydrates within 24 hours or 25 hours. Avocado juice and sugarcane juice and another type of juice, a grape juice, fruit juices which reduce your carbohydrate level, and it will boost up your nourishment and flourishment of day. First day, your day starts from juice like amla juice. So amla and ginger is the best juice. If you take in morning in empty stomach, it will reduce your fat belly as well as your high calories, 1500 calories per day. Swimming reduce 1500 calories per day, and cycling reduces 2500 calories per day. So exercise, swimming, going to gym, or just doing your home, you're just skipping, it's enough. Walking per day, walking 2 kilometers, it will reduces your fat. So for people of age of towards age during 80 to 60, 60 to 80, and 50 to 60, or you should be very conscious in your eating food. You should take more spinach, because spinach will be good for health. Taking weekly thrice spinach, it will give you a fiber as well as protein as well as vitamins. So eating spring onion, garlic onions, garlic springs, so lemongrass. So eating these type of food will increase your nutrition. So the malnutrition will goes to less if you take these type of food. So within this, I just finished my presentation. So coming to the point, theme of the nutrition and diet today is let us cleanse our body. So we all just join our hands together for let us cleanse our body. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramya, for the insightful presentation. And we wish you all the success for your future endeavors. If anyone has any queries, you can use chat box or raise your hand or unmute yourself. If there are no further queries, then Okay, there are few appreciation messages, and I think there are no queries. So thank you, Ramya, for joining us, and look forward for more sessions in future. Dear friends, quickly fill up the feedback form for this session.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, with the insightful session, we shall move on to today's commemoration. Today and this week is entirely celebrated as International Snowmobile Safety and Awareness Week. It generally starts on third Saturday of January every year, and it has been more than 70 years since the first snowmobile was made. Snowmobiles are vehicles designed and built to be used in the snow. They are the fun way to go about in places where there is heavy snowfall and are enjoyed by millions all over the world as a winter sport. But it does not come without safety concerns. Snowmobiles can quickly become dangerous if not used with necessary precautions. International Snowmobile Safety and Awareness Week was created to spread awareness among the people about the safety precautions one needs to ensure before using a snowmobile to keep them and people around them safe. So sledding has been a popular recreational activity for many centuries. However, the motorized sled was invented in 1927 by a mechanic in Walcourt, Quebec, named Joseph Armand Bombardier. Bombardier made the first ever motorized sled by using a propeller. A few years later, in 1927, the motor toboggan was made. Bombardier used the wheel and track system to further improve his invention, and thus in 1935, the first snowmobile was made. In the coming years, Bombardier would make modifications in the snowmobile, which became immensely popular. He patented the first 7-member snowmobile in 1937 and the 12-member capacity one in 1941. Bombardier's snowmobiles turned out to be extremely useful for people, especially working in the law enforcement, fire service, hospital emergency services, etc. Some of these vehicles were modified for military use and used by the American troops in World War II. By the 1960s, new snowmobiles with powerful engines emerged. It was popular among people around the world who lived in frigid regions where there was heavy snowfall. People enjoyed snowmobiles as a recreational activity and as a winter sport. It was also useful for going from place to place during times heavy snowfall would block the roads. Many incidents of accidents and mishaps involving snowmobiles were reported. Many were also concerned about fuel usage and its impact on environment. In 1993, International Snowmobile Safety and Awareness Week was created to encourage people to use necessary safety equipment like helmets and protective gear and to use snowmobiles made by authorized companies that produce snowmobiles that undergo strict pollution checks. So snowmobiles can cost anywhere between $4,000 to $10,000 depending on the quality. You can also get used snowmobiles for relatively low prices. Snowmobiles can speed up to 125 miles per hour, but the higher end models that are used exclusively for sports and racing can go up to 150 miles per hour. And many believe that snowmobiling is more fun and peaceful at night because it is less crowded and it can seem more adventurous. However, apart from regular safety precautions, you need to be extra cautious and ensure that your snowmobile's headlights are working properly. And also, you need to be equipped with head-mounted torch for extra light and protection. Ensure that fuel tank is full before you set out for the adventure in the dark. And snowmobiles manufacturing or usage is a big industry, a $22 million business in the United States alone. And there are about 230,000 miles of marked snowmobiling tracks in the United States. And snowmobiles are also called skydoos. The greatest distance traveled in a snowmobile is 2,081 miles. That is the world record. Snowmobiles can travel also on water in the right conditions and speed. Snowmobiles can be used on the surface of water as well as snow. Generally, it is made for the snow. And most of the accidents reported with the snowmobiles were shown due to negligence in the following safety precautions. This day reminds us the importance of wearing helmets and protective gear while snowmobiling and keeping our loved ones safe. This day also reminds us of our duties as responsible citizens to take steps towards protecting the environment. Some snowmobiles generate exhaust fumes that pollute the environment and take up a lot of fuel. Hence, it reminds us to use eco-friendly snowmobiles that are certified to use fuel to the minimum and generate less to no fumes. And it is also a day for learning. This gives us an opportunity to learn more about history of how the Skidoo came into existence. And also various inventions that emerged during a time when resources were limited. So with this, we shall conclude this commemoration. And today, we are also commemorating one more festival, a weekly festival, Spring Festival Golden Week in China, which is commemorated from today, January 21st to 27th. This often coincides with the Chinese New Year and takes place between late January to mid-February and is celebrated January 21st to 27th this year. These celebrations go till the Lantern Festival, which is on the 15th day of the Chinese New Year. The Spring Festival is an important part of Chinese culture and one of the largest celebrations among the Chinese people. No matter what they are, the festival has a lot of focus on activities that bring luck to make sure everyone celebrating has a great new year. And this Spring Festival Golden Week holiday is also known as Chinese New Year, Spring Festival, or the Lunar New Year. refers to the weeks of celebration around the new year and the arrival of the spring. The festival is one of the most important on the Chinese calendar and well celebrated and have influenced similar celebrations in the countries around the China as well. And it is also a time for family and ancestor worship, as well as honoring and praying to important deities. People clean their homes in preparation to sweep away the bad luck from previous year and make room for better luck in new year. And it is also supposed to have originated under Emperor Yao, one of the legendary 3 sovereigns and 5 emperors. The day he took the throne was marked to be the beginning of the year, and people have celebrated it ever since. A popular folk tale about Chinese New Year and its celebration is a tale of beast called Nian, sometimes known as Zai. The beast was supposed to be a terrifying creature that would eat people, especially children. As the people of the villages went to hide, an old man reassured them that he would take revenge. The old man set up the red paper and firecrackers, which scared Nian. So when villagers returned from hiding, they saw that nothing had been destroyed. Ever since, people have worn this red near New Year's Day and set off crackers to keep Nian away. So black is strictly avoided during this Chinese year, and people wear mostly red for the good luck. And the snowmobile community every year organizes annual International Snowmobile Safety Week. This year, also there is a special event for the snowmobile community, including state and provincial snowmobile associations. And there are 4 manufacturers that build these snowmobiles. They are Arctic Cat, headquartered in the Thief River Falls, Semen BRP, headquartered in Valleycote, Quebec, Polaris Industries, headquartered in Medina, MN, and Yamaha Motor Corporation, headquartered in Ontario, Canada, in US. In 2022, there were around 130,644 snowmobiles sold worldwide, and 53,821 were sold in the US, and 50,943 were sold in the Canada. There are 1.3 million registered snowmobiles in the US and over 6,01,000 registered snowmobiles in Canada. The economic impact of snowmobiling, United States is around $26 billion annually. In Canada, 9.3 billion annually. Europe and Russia, 5 billion annually. This is widely used, in snow falling regions and in other parts of the world where we have snow, like on hilly regions or glaciers. And over 1 lakh full-time jobs are generated by the snowmobile industry in North America, Those jobs are involved in manufacturing, dealerships, tourism related business. And the average age of a snowmobiler is around 53 years old. The average snowmobiler spends $2,500 each year on snowmobile related recreation. 50% of snowmobilers trailer their snowmobiles to ride 50% snowmobile from their primary residence or have a vacation home where they keep and they use snowmobiles. Snowmobiles are caring neighbors. Snowmobilers are caring neighbors. They raised over $3 million for charity annually. There are 3,000 plus snowmobile clubs worldwide involved in train grooming, charity fundraising, and family activities. There are over 42 registered nonprofit associations representing snowmobilers in USA, Canada, Europe, and Russia. Snowmobile is a great exercise, bringing people outdoors, interacting with nature and each other. It is an invigorating sport, great for stress release and good mental health. The use of snowmobiles in national parks is regulated by the federal law enforcement, and snowmobiling occurs on roads groomed and marked for snowmobiling, the same roadways used by recreational vehicles, cars, trucks, and buses. Snowmobiles are not used as off-road vehicles in national parks such as Yellowstone, Rocky Mountain, and Grand Teton. On US national forest land, most of the trails used by snowmobiles are on the groomed roads used by summer recreationists. There are also secondary and seasonal roads within the forest used by snowmobilers. These roads are groomed and marked by volunteers who work closely with the local US Forest Service staff in maintaining and managing those areas. The manufacturers have always been actively involved in promoting safe riding behavior and snowmobiling. Over 1 million safety-related brochures and decals and hundreds and thousands of posters and safety DVDs have been distributed free of charge to snowmobile enthusiasts throughout the world. Safety trainers, enforcement officers, Chamber of Commerce, etc. use safety materials provided by the manufacturers. Through safety riders, you can make snowmobiling safe. Safety campaign. And we have International Association of Snowmobile Manufacturers and Administrators. These are leading associations who are promoting snowmobiling. And let's watch a few videos on snowmobiling so that you will come to know. Before that, there are certain precautions, safety precautions that needs to be known, like snowmobiling and alcohol don't mix. So don't mix, don't drink and ride. Know before you go, always check local ice conditions. And when night riding, slow down, expect the unexpected, and ride safe, stay on the trail, respect private property, and know the risks, be prepared, and make every trip a round one. Cross with care, don't become a roadkill. Snowmobiling is a fun family sport. So join us today and ride smart, ride right, stay in control. One is the loneliest number, never ride alone. Promote your right to ride, get involved. Smart riders are safe riders. Take snowmobile safety training.
You can tell which people are snowmobilers. They're the people who put a "Let It Snow" bumper sticker on their car or truck in July. The snow may melt and the riding season may end, but snowmobilers never stop thinking about that next ride, that next vacation, that next chance to enjoy their favorite sport with great friends. Snowmobilers see winter as their time, as the too short season when they get to travel cross-country by sled and see snow-covered scenery and nature at its beautiful best. Snowmobilers embrace and celebrate winter. They realize that by living in the snow belt, they get the chance to make the most of winter. They can experience the exhilaration of a twisty trail ride through the woods. They get to go see wildlife in remote locations far from roads and towns. Snowmobilers get to surf atop fresh powder, climb to heights that offer scenic vistas, and pause at the shores of frozen lakes to listen to the silence. Snowmobiling is for everyone. It's for families and for individual riders who become part of the family of riders. It's for riders of all ages and all riding styles, from trail cruisers to deep snow experts to crossover riders who travel both on and off trail. Snowmobiling is for doers, the trail networks that let riders travel coast to coast and all over each state and province were developed by volunteers. Local club association members made it happen. They worked with government agencies and private landowners. They held fundraisers, cleared brush, built bridges, and they groomed the snow into smooth, frozen highways. These volunteers also donate to charities. They support local organizations in need. They teach young riders to enjoy the sport safely. And they team up with other trail groups to offer the best year-round outdoor experiences. Snowmobilers are a dedicated bunch. It would be easy to curl up inside all winter, but snowmobilers don't want easy. They want winter at its best. They want fresh snow to repave their trails and festive rallies that bring small towns to life in January and February. They are determined to live life to the fullest, and they do it on snowmobiles with great friends. You don't create memories bundled up in the house all winter. No, you make memories and share experiences with friends old and new by being a snowmobiler. Enjoy the ride. When you are interested in starting to ride snowmobiles, one big yet basic question you'll face is, how do I get started? Start by determining the riding opportunities near where you live and the sort of riding you hope to do. Does your home region feature groomed trail networks, or do you have access to mountains and legal to ride on open lands? And how will you ride? On your own sled or two up with a passenger? Will you ride mostly on trails, in deep snow, or both on and off trail? Will you go tour riding and spend nights away from home, or enjoy day trips and end up at home each night? By deciding where you'll ride and how you'll ride, you'll get an idea of what type of sled to shop for. You'll also determine if you need a trailer and what type of riding gear is best suited to your riding style. Consulting friends who are experienced snowmobilers will prove most helpful. They can provide answers and advice and recommend outstanding full-service dealerships. If you don't know riders, contact a local snowmobile club. To find one near you, do an internet search for snowmobile clubs in your state or province. You'll find riders are eager to share their experiences and offer advice. Once you're ready, head to a snowmobile dealership. Describe your riding goals and consider the models the dealership staff recommends. Experienced sales associates will help you select the right sled, the accessories you'll need, and riding gear that will help keep you warm, dry, and comfortable out in the snow. A good dealership is your best source of maintenance products, such as oil, spark plugs, and a spare drive belt. Your dealer will also be your best provider of service and repairs. Some dealers offer off-season sled storage. You can choose to buy a new snowmobile or a pre-owned machine. Pre-owned sleds are available from dealerships and from private individuals. Dealers often sell their pre-owned machines with warranty coverage or service packages, which provides you with peace of mind. If you consider buying a pre-owned sled from an individual, have an experienced snowmobiler help you assess the machine. A savvy rider will help evaluate the machine's condition, how it sounds when running, its accessories or modifications, and whether the asking price is fair. You can find great pre-owned snowmobiles, but like buying a car, there can be some uncertainty when buying from a private party. While dealers will stand behind what they sell, there's no assurance a private seller will do so. There will be no return opportunity and certainly no warranty. Whether you choose to buy a new or pre-owned snowmobile, shop wisely and get out there and enjoy the snow. Just as with driving a car, riding a snowmobile while impaired greatly increases your risk of an accident. That's why you and the friends you ride with should follow a zero-tolerance approach, no alcohol, no drugs, period. When you consume drugs or alcohol, your reaction time decreases, your judgment is not as sound, and your motor skills are compromised. Simply put, you're not as good of a rider as when you're sober. You increase the possibility of an accident and put your fellow riders at risk. So ride straight and sober. Enjoy your time on the sled to the fullest. In addition to an alcohol and drug-free ride, be aware of other factors that need to be taken into consideration to support a safe ride. These can include excessive speed, night riding, avalanche risks, and riding on ice. Excessive speed is dangerous, especially on trails, and especially around other riders. You have less control of your sled and less reaction time, and you require greater stopping distance. You're not racing, you're riding, so enjoy the thrills of snowmobiling without reaching dangerous speeds, and remember to respect the posted trail speed limits. Riding at night can be enjoyable, and it can be inevitable with the winter's early sunsets. But remember that your vision is compromised, so decrease your speed and stay alert to your surroundings. Be sure that your pre-ride equipment check includes confirming your lights are working properly. Remember to carry a reliable flashlight, and having reflective material on your riding gear increases your visibility to others. Before riding in mountain areas or in lake country, ask local residents and snowmobilers about current snow and ice conditions. Learn about the current avalanche risk to determine where and how to ride. And learn whether local temperatures have been cold enough to create ice that's safe to ride on. If conditions aren't safe, change your riding plans. You can still enjoy a great riding experience by choosing some different routes. For the best snowmobiling experiences, ride sober, minimize the challenges to safe riding, and have fun. Before snowmobiling in the mountains, a rider must prepare for the possibility of an avalanche. Your best resources are proper safety equipment, knowledge of current snow conditions, and an awareness of what causes avalanches and how to best avoid them. There's a wealth of training and education available. You can attend avalanche awareness, safety, and rescue classes offered by groups including local law enforcement agencies, park rangers, snowmobile clubs, snowmobile dealers, outfitters, and more. You'll also find safe mountain riding tips at the Safe Riders website, www.saferiderssafetyawareness.org. This is a great source of safe riding tips for mountain and flatland riders. To ensure that you are viewing the websites that offer valuable and correct training about avalanche awareness, safe riding practices, and rescue procedures, go to the websites for Backcountry Ascender at www.backcountryascender.com. The American Avalanche Association is at www.americanavalancheassociation.org, or Avalanche Canada at www.avalanche.ca. Improving your backcountry knowledge, skills, practical experience, and confidence could save you or your riding partner's life someday. Local sources such as snowmobile dealers, snowmobile clubs, trail groomers, avid riders, and more can also provide valuable information. They'll know the area's current snow conditions, which slopes or areas are most prone to avalanches. Use the knowledge and advice of others as a guide, but always do your own research each day and location to make your best decisions for where you ride your snowmobile. Experts are always learning more about avalanches, so continue to be a student of avalanches for as long as you ride. Education and awareness are invaluable resources. You'll want to wear a working beacon with fresh batteries, which will transmit a signal to help rescuers locate a snow-covered rider or multiple riders as quickly as possible. Every rider should carry a shovel, which can be used to move snow quickly during a rescue. Today's shovels are lightweight and easy to transport on snowmobiles. Each rider should also have a probe that can be used to help locate a rider who is buried. Like the shovels, probes are lightweight and fold up for easy transport on a sled. Among the newest technology to enhance rider safety is the avalanche airbag, which you typically wear like a backpack. If you encounter an avalanche, you'll trigger the inflation of the airbag. It can help keep you close to the surface and visible to rescuers. Riding in the mountains is a tremendous experience. There's nothing like mountain powder, and climbing slopes or playing in pristine meadows. But mountain riding also includes the risk of avalanches, so make sure you're educated, aware, and prepared. Even highly skilled riders with years of experience can fall victim to avalanche risks. So get as much information as possible and play it safe to enjoy an exhilarating ride in the mountains. You've got your snowmobile and riding gear, and you have done a pre-ride inspection. You're ready to ride. So, what do you do now? The first thing to do is ask questions and get informed. Read your owner's manual thoroughly and consult your dealer for information about how to operate your sled. Also, talk with experienced riders, ask questions, get tips and advice. Know before you go. Before you start your snowmobile engine, make sure the throttle works properly and does not stick, and make sure the space in front of your sled is clear. Look near the right-hand grip. The bright red engine stop switch, which riders commonly call a kill switch, must be in the up position. If it's up, the engine can run. To stop the engine at any time, push the red kill button switch down, and your engine will stop immediately. Snowmobiles have one of two methods of starting the engine, and some have both: electric start or pull cord start. When you are ready to start the snowmobile, be sure the kill switch is in the start position. Turn the key to the key switch's start position until the engine starts, similar to starting a car. If your machine doesn't have electric start, turn the key switch to the start position, then simply pull the engine start cord to start the engine. Your snowmobile has an automatic transmission, so there's no shifting. To activate the drive system, push gently and steadily on the throttle, and you'll eventually feel the transmission engage and move the sled forward. You will quickly get a feel for how to operate the throttle to control the drive system. When you release the throttle, the drive system will disengage and the sled will coast or be slowed by your use of the brake. If your sled has a safety tether, think about it as a second kill switch. The tether must be attached to the sled for the engine to run. Once the tether is removed, the engine will stop immediately. If you have a safety tether, attach it securely to your jacket. If you get off the sled, the tether will be removed from the sled and the engine will stop. Most of today's snowmobiles have reverse, which makes it extremely easy to back a sled out of a parking spot or away from an obstacle. Each manufacturer has its own unique reverse control, So consult your owner's manual and your dealer to understand exactly how to use this convenient feature. Now you're up and running. Have fun and enjoy the ride.
Your snowmobile has a brake light that alerts riders behind you when you're slowing, but your sled does not have turn signals. This means you need to use snowmobiler hand signals to alert other riders to upcoming turns and to provide additional information about what you see ahead of you. Let's review the most important snowmobiler hand signals you'll need to use. Stop. When you're going to slow down or stop, let your fellow riders know by raising your left arm straight up with the palm flat. Some riders prefer to make this signal with their right arm and hand so they can keep their left hand by their brake control. Slowing. If you're slowing down, extend your left arm out to the side and angled slightly downward. Have the open palm of your left hand facing the riders behind you. Some riders wave their hand back toward the trailing riders for emphasis, and some riders use their right hands so their left hand can operate the brake if needed. Signals for turns are the same as those you learned as a young bicycle rider. For an upcoming left turn, extend your left arm straight out to the left. For a right turn, extend your left arm out and create a 90-degree bend upward at the elbow. When riding on a trail, it's important to make every rider aware of oncoming traffic. This will ensure every rider stays to the right side of the trail so the groups can safely pass. To signal that there are oncoming sleds, raise your left hand over your head and point to the right to tell riders behind you. Make sure you're riding on the right-hand side of the trail. When passing with oncoming riders, you will reduce your speed and hug the right side of the trail. You should also give those riders the signal for sleds following. Simply raise your left hand and extend as many fingers as there are snowmobiles behind you. If it's more than 5, hold up all 5 fingers or possibly flash the 5 sign repeatedly. If you're riding at the back of your group, signal to the oncoming traffic that you are the last sled in line by raising your left hand and forming a fist. Snowmobiler hand signals enhance rider safety for everyone, so learn them and use them every time you ride.
While riders in Western North America can enjoy riding in expansive open areas, riders in the central and eastern regions ride primarily on designated trails. If your riding area features trail networks, be sure to stay on those trails and respect landowners' property. To create trails, snowmobile clubs and associations get permission from private landowners to route trails across their property. These landowners can include farmers, businesses, and homeowners. Once permission is granted, volunteers prepare the terrain in summer months. They ensure the terrain and structures such as bridges are safe for riding. They also ensure the trails are free of fences, wires, downed trees, and other hazards. The trails are cut wide enough for modern snowmobiles, and the volunteers post signage to warn riders about hazards such as sharp turns, steep hills, and road crossings. Come winter, these volunteer organizations regularly groom the snow covering the trails. These designated trails are the safest places for you to ride, and they offer safe, scenic routes from point A to point B. If you don't stay on the designated trails, you are trespassing, and you threaten the relationships between the landowners and snowmobile clubs. If even one landowner denies the club permission to route a trail across their property, a vital trail link goes missing. With the popularity and performance of today's crossover sleds, it's understandable that some riders want to enjoy riding in open areas, and possibly in deep snow. But every rider must go off-trail only in designated areas where it's legal and allowed. Before running off-trail, Consult local residents, especially local snowmobilers. Learn where to find play areas and open spaces where you can safely ride off trail. Follow their advice and resist the urge to simply follow tracks that indicate riders before you have headed off trail. You have no idea if those riders encountered hazardous terrain or risks such as fences, wires, open water, or unmarked roads. Some trails run on abandoned railway lines that have been cleared and prepped for use as trails, but active rail lines are to be avoided. They may look appealing, but they pose numerous risks. Learn how to safely cross active rail lines, but don't ride on them as if they are trails. Our modern snowmobile trail networks are extensive and impressive. Stay on the trails, respect property owners' rights, and enjoy the ride. Riding a snowmobile is a great way to spend time in the great outdoors and can take you to some very beautiful locations. To enjoy these scenic areas, you need to ride a dependable, well-maintained snowmobile that will let you have your fun and make it home safely. Snowmobile dependability and reliability begin with pre-ride preparation. Prior to every new riding season, you or your dealer should run through a pre-season preparation checklist. You want to make sure your sled is in good repair and ready to get you home from every ride. Before and after every ride, you should inspect your sled. Before each ride, confirm that the suspension flexes as it should. Inspect the belt for alignment and any signs of wear. Check the ski carbides to ensure you'll have proper steering control. Top off fluids as needed, such as coolant and oil, and always start a ride with a full tank of fuel. Check your controls, your throttle and brake to confirm they operate correctly and don't stick. It is also recommended to bring along an extra belt, a set of spark plugs, and a quart of oil. Ideally, you won't need any of these, but you might help save the trip for a less prepared friend. After your ride, inspect the sled again and be sure to check the belt and carbides for wear. If you heard or felt anything unusual while riding, inspect the sled or have your dealer check for damages or wear. It's always best to use parts produced by your sled's manufacturer, so you know they will be installed, fit, and operate correctly. If you ride in remote areas, you will be purchasing fuel at stores and stations that are new and unknown to you. You might find yourself purchasing fuel that contains ethanol, a product derived from corn. E10 fuel, for instance, has 10% ethanol mixed with 90% gasoline. Fuel that contains ethanol can be used in your snowmobile engine, but it's not preferable. You should not use E15, which contains 15% ethanol, and it will harm your engine. Be aware that fuel containing ethanol delivers poorer fuel economy, so to travel 100 miles, you'll burn more ethanol fuel than you will burn pure gasoline. Plan your fuel stops accordingly. Ethanol can be corrosive and can attract water, which you don't want in your fuel system in freezing winter temperatures. So carry fuel treatment with you and add it as directed to ensure you experience reliable fuel burn without damaging side effects. Remember, the key to reliability is preparation. Make sure before every ride that your snowmobile is well maintained and ready for the long run.
To make snowmobiling safe and enjoyable, you need to dress properly. Snowmobile dealerships have everything you need to keep you warm and dry on your snowmobiling adventures. Many years of research have gone into making the high-tech apparel we enjoy today, so visit a dealership to take advantage of their knowledge to prepare you for a comfortable and safe ride. Your top priority is safety, and the single most important piece of equipment is your helmet. It must be DOT approved, and it might also have SNELL certification. Both DOT and SNELL labels show that the helmet's materials and construction have been tested and approved. Your helmet needs to fit snug and comfortably. It needs to have a secure chin strap, and it needs to provide you with a full view of your surroundings. If you wear a dirt bike style helmet, you'll need reliable goggles to protect your eyes and provide fog-free visibility. Adding a balaclava under your helmet is another item you may choose to use to help keep your head and face warm. Think of it as a sock for your head that you put on before putting on your helmet for added protection from the cold. The best way to stay warm and comfortable while snowmobiling is by layering. You'll likely be coldest when you start the day and will warm up once you're riding for a while. Layering lets you remove or add layers, such as a fleece layer or sweatshirt worn for insulation, as air temperatures and your body heat change. Make sure you have dry storage for layers you remove so you can put them back on later if needed. The layers closest to your body must be made of fabrics that wick moisture away from your skin instead of absorbing it. Wet fabrics don't retain heat, so you want to wear moisture-wicking underlayers. The outermost layers need to be waterproof and breathable. This combination will release moist air from body heat to keep you warm and dry. You have a choice of gloves or mittens to keep your hands warm. Just make sure your hand protection provides the flexibility needed to operate the sled's controls. Your footwear should be waterproof boots with insulation for warmth. Good snowmobile bibs and pants have gaiters that extend over your boots to keep out snow. Before you leave for your snowmobile ride, be sure to bring a warm cap, extra gloves and goggles, a fully charged cell phone, a reliable flashlight, some food, and maybe even an insulated container of coffee, tea, or cocoa that you can enjoy when you stop to take a break. Now you are ready to have an awesome, warm, and dry day in the snow.
While you hear a lot about snowmobile clubs and associations, you might ask, who are these groups and what do they do? They do a lot for all of us who love snowmobiling. So here's an introduction. Start at the local level with snowmobile clubs. They are comprised of avid riders who got together and formed a snowmobile club, usually so they could develop an area trail system. Snowmobile clubs work with local property owners to gain permission to route trails across private property, and then they prepare and maintain the trails throughout the year. Snowmobile clubs promote snowmobile training and safety programs, especially for new and young riders, and clubs commonly oversee production of area trail maps. Snowmobile clubs hold fundraising events to support snowmobiling and local charitable causes. All the while doing this great work, snowmobile club members are having fun. Every club activity is a chance to get together with friends, both old and new. They work together, play together, and share great experiences. Local clubs are typically affiliated with state snowmobile associations, or in Canada, provincial associations. The state association maintains a strong relationship with state agencies that oversee natural resources, trail networks, and legislation related to snowmobiles and riders. The state associations work together through a national organization called the American Council of Snowmobile Associations, the ACSA. In Canada, the national group is the Canadian Council of Snowmobile Organizations, or CCSO. These national associations work with federal agencies on behalf of trail system development, land access, funding for such programs, and more. All of these groups work with the snowmobile manufacturers, who are united as the International Snowmobile Manufacturers Association, or ISMA. This group maintains a strong connection to federal agencies and lawmakers to protect riders' rights and promote trail and safety programs. What can you do? How can you get involved? Start close to home and join your nearest snowmobile club. Every member makes a difference, and every member can have a lot of fun while working on behalf of the sport. You can volunteer your time and skills however you want to help the club. Working together, volunteers optimize riding opportunities and trail conditions for everyone, and they have a great time doing so, winter and summer.
You've got the passion, the snowmobile, and the gear. So now you just need a place to ride. Your snowmobiling friends can give you tips or take you to nearby trailheads and trail systems. You can also consult the staff at your snowmobile dealership or find riding opportunities through research online. For online research, start with the National Snowmobile Association websites. They are the American Council of Snowmobile Associations, or ACSA for short, at www.snowmobilers.org, and the Canadian Council of Snowmobile Organizations, or CCSO for short, at www.ccso-ccom.ca. You'll find a directory of state associations and provincial, as well as territorial organized snowmobile associations that will help you find great riding opportunities. Research a state or provincial association website to help you locate trails, maps, and other valuable resources. Once you choose an area where you want to ride, you'll find trail maps at snowmobile dealerships or other local businesses that support area snowmobile clubs. The maps will include trail system rules, local businesses such as fuel and food stops, lodging, and tips on great riding destinations. Another popular way to view maps is downloading an app to your smartphone that will also help track where you and other people in your group are on the trail system for the riding area you are using. Some snowmobiles have these riding apps on their gauges as standard equipment. Determine whether you'll need state or local trail passes. If you do, snowmobile dealerships can either provide these passes or direct you to where to find them. The maps will show public trailheads where you can park to unload your sleds and start riding. And many times you can ride right from the hotel or motel where you're staying. If you're riding on trail systems, make sure you're familiar with how to handle designated road crossings and learn basic hand signals riders use to communicate on the move. Trail riders should monitor their fuel and make sure they're aware of when stores or stations are close so they have enough fuel to get home. On your first day's ride, keep track of how many miles you cover before your lunch stop. This will help you plan when it's time to head back to your starting point. And once you know how many miles you typically ride in, say, a morning, you can map out scenic loop rides and great day trips. If you're riding in the mountains, do your own research and check with knowledgeable local riders for tips on where it's acceptable and legal to free ride off-trail and where to be aware of avalanche risks. Every mountain rider, whether new or experienced, should carry working avalanche safety gear and seek local information about snow conditions. The American Avalanche Association at www.americanavalancheassociation.org in the United States, or Avalanche Canada at www.avalanche.ca have great resources for riding in mountainous regions. Another good resource is Backcountry Ascender at www.backcountryascender.com. If you're still getting familiar with your snowmobile and with mountain riding, don't stray too far off trail and don't try to climb as high as possible. Gain some skills and confidence and take direction from experienced local riders whenever possible. There are many amazing riding areas to be experienced out there, and with a little research, you can plan a snowmobile destination that is safe and will bring you lifelong memories.
If you don't live in the country where you can ride right from your home, you'll need to trailer your snowmobiles to take you to your favorite riding areas. You'll have a lot of trailer options, So the best first step is to get educated on what's available to meet your unique needs. You learn a lot about trailers from snowmobile magazines and websites, from trailer manufacturer catalogs and websites at snowmobile shows and swap meets, and especially from talking with experienced riders. First, you'll choose whether you want an enclosed trailer or an open flatbed trailer. The enclosed trailer provides superior sled protection and security, but likely weighs more, costs more, and requires off-season storage space. A flatbed trailer is lighter, less expensive, and easier to maneuver and store. It can be stood upright for off-season storage. An open flatbed offers less protection and security, so you'll likely want to purchase covers and security products for your sleds. When loading or unloading a trailer, safety is your top priority. It's always easier and safer to load and unload with more than one person, so welcome offers of help. In turn, extend a helping hand to other riders too. If you're using a ramp, triple check that it is properly and securely attached to the trailer. Don't trust makeshift homemade ramps. If needed, invest in strong, dependable ramps for safe loading and unloading. There are countless ways to secure a snowmobile to a trailer. Most trailers come with their own tie-down systems. These are typically bars that extend across the skis and attach to the trailer bed. For extra security and peace of mind, complement these tie-downs with tie-down straps that offer versatility and extra security. But remember that with straps, you get what you pay for. Don't trust cheap, flimsy straps. Invest in strong straps with reliable tightening mechanisms to protect your sleds. Before the season and before every trip, check tire pressure and tire condition. Carrying a spare trailer tire is smart, inexpensive travel insurance. If your trailer has brakes, make sure they operate properly before every trip too. And be aware of legal requirements for trailers. They typically need to be licensed, and their lights and brakes, if so equipped, must be in working order for use on public roads. Safety chains that offer extra security in connecting the trailer tongue to the low vehicle are also required. Be sure they are connected properly so they can do their jobs. With a little care in loading and securing your machine, you will have the peace of mind that the trip to your favorite riding area will go well, so you can spend your time doing what you enjoy the most: snowmobiling.
Snowmobiling is a remarkable community and culture where enthusiasts share a passion for riding, and they voluntarily follow an unwritten ethical code that ensures we can all enjoy the sport for years to come. The Snowmobiler's Code of Ethics is based on a safe approach to riding. It's based on doing what's right. On the trails, safety begins with riding the way you drive, on the right side of the trail. This ensures sleds can pass by one another safely. If you approach a blind corner where you can't see if anyone is heading your way, reduce your speed to stay on the right side of the trail. And stay on the trails. Local snowmobile clubs work hard to get private landowners' permission to route trails across their property. Stay on the trail to avoid unseen hazards, to avoid damaging the landscape, and to protect trail access. Show respect for nature and structures near trails. Vandalizing buildings, signs, bridges, and other structures can result in trail closures. And don't intentionally damage elements of nature, like small trees. Steer clear and let them grow. Respect wildlife. The animals you see while riding live in those woods that host your snowmobile trail. Treat them and their environment with respect. Don't chase animals and don't vandalize nests or beaver dams. Don't use loud equipment such as exhaust pipes without mufflers. Loud pipes offend landowners, animals, and your fellow riders. Use certified, noise-compliant equipment for recreational riding and leave the modified pipes for the racetrack. And make sure you race only on the racetrack, not on the trails. Racing and speeding on trails is dangerous to you and other riders. At higher speeds, your reaction time decreases and your safety risks increase. Snowmobiling is exhilarating at legal speeds, so enjoy it and leave the racing to racers. If you need to stop while on the trails, stop on the right side of the trail on an open straightaway. Approaching riders will see you, reduce their speeds, and pass safely. When you follow the Snowmobiler's Code of Ethics, you optimize your enjoyment of every ride and pave the way for future riders.
Hello, Ravindra sir, are you there? Hello, Ravindra sir, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Ravindra sir, are you there? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. You can fill up the form.
Yes, sir, we have already filled up the form. Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, whatever the session we have attended earlier, how can you download our certificate? Because right now we're in your site. Can you let me, sir, guide, sir?
Okay, ma'am. I will show you.
Okay, sir. So which option or link we have to click so that we can download our previous all certificates?
I will demonstrate you. Before that, we request everyone to fill up the feedback form so that we can move on to the demonstration. So thank you everyone for joining us in this session. So we will see a few more commemorations are there. Then we will see how you can download your certificates. Today is also National Squirrel Appreciation Day. In 2001, wildlife rehabilitation specialist Christina Haggrove founded National Squirrel Appreciation Day in Nashville, North Carolina, and Christie created this day to encourage kind attitude towards our busty-tailed neighbors by setting out food and water for squirrels and even allowing them to play with that bird feeder you normally don't want them touching. So we might generally look at the squirrels as being an unnecessary nuisance, but their existence is actually beneficial to the environment and in urban areas assists in park beautification. Albeit by accident, squirrels plant seeds, initially meaning to store away nuts to come back to when they are hungry, which eventually grow into trees, thus assisting with forest renewal. They are natural gardeners. Up until the mid-19th century, squirrels were not present in the American cities. In order to have squirrels in the middle of urban areas, you need to transform the landscape by planting trees and building parks. You also need to change the way people behave by discouraging them from shooting squirrels and encouraging them to start feeding the animals instead. The first documented introduction occurred in Philadelphia's Franklin Square in 1847. Boston and New Haven followed suit and brought in squirrels. A few years later, in 1850, the squirrel experiment had ended by 1860s when many squirrels had either passed or were killed amid concerns that they would disturb birds and lead to insect problems. But releases began again in 1870, this time on a larger scale as expansive parks were built in New York, Boston, Washington, DC, Chicago, and major cities, providing a welcomed habitat for squirrels to live and thrive. An interesting quirk about gray squirrels is not that they bury their nuts, but they also often dig those nuts up and then rebury them somewhere else over and over again. So why go through all this trouble, you may ask? Well, apparently squirrels can lose as much as 24% of their captured nuts to thieves, and the largest perpetrator of such crimes are other squirrels, especially other gray squirrels. So by burying, digging up, and then reburying their food supply, squirrels ensure the safety of their nuts and throw off nosy thieves following their trail. And 74% of the nuts buried are never recovered. With all this burying, digging up, and reburying, you would think squirrels have such a great memory to continuously find their nuts. But actually, squirrels fail to recover up to 74% of the nuts they buried. And most of the nuts they dig up are the nuts they steal from other squirrels. So what happens to the nuts they forget and their squirrel buddies couldn't find? Well, the gray squirrels' forgetfulness actually helps reforestation, as the nuts they were unable to find for their winter begin to sprout in the spring and grow into giant trees over time. In fact, the further a squirrel buries their cache, the more tree growth spreads, and which is actually great for the environment. And according to the Integrated Taxonomic Information System, ITIS, there are over 200 species of squirrels, which are categorized into 3 types. That is, tree squirrels, ground squirrels, and flying squirrels. These 3 categories are further broken down into many other squirrel types, such as albino, mountain tree, antelope, spotted, gray, American red, Douglas, fox, pygmy, northern flying, southern, Arizona gray, Idaho, Arctic ground, Albert Franklin, Richardson, rock, white, and black. The smallest species of the squirrel is the African pygmy, measuring about 5 inches in length and 0.6 ounces in weight. The largest squirrel is the black giant squirrel, which can weigh up to 33 pounds and can reach a length of around 3 feet from the head to tail. So let's celebrate these bushy-tailed cuties during National Squirrel Appreciation Day. And today is also National Hugging Day. We have all types of hugs, from one armed bro hug to full bear hugs. And today is also International Sweatpants Day and also Grandma's Day. And National Conscious Uncoupling Day and National Hug Your Puppy Day. So these wonderful furry friends observe all the love and affection we can give them, and it is in recognition of this that an entire day has been created, especially for hugging them. It has been said that hugging puppies releases a hormone called oxytocin, more informally known as the cuddle hormone, in both the pups and humans. Not only does a good tight hug helps to strengthen the bond between man and or a woman or a pup, but it also shows the pets that we care. It is a great idea to pick up your pup, give them a big hug today. Genetic evidence over the years has suggested that the dogs are direct descendants of wolves, and that now extinct wolves' lineages from which dogs came branched off from the line of modern living wolves somewhere between 27,000 years and 40,000 years ago. The domestication of dogs is said to have occurred between 14,000 and 29,000 years ago. It is said that the wolves here were likely responsible for facilitating their domestication by trailing North Eurasian nomads and feeding on the remains of game animals left behind by animals. Most research results agree on the fact that dog domestication was a process that unfolded over thousands of years, with dogs and wild boars continuing to crossbreed with one another, and with the early populations being replaced by the later ones. A few genetic studies have recorded evidence of early domestication events in specific regions. One study posits that the wolves were domesticated 16,300 years ago to serve the livestock in China, whereas another report states that early dogs dating from about 12,000 to 14,000 years ago came from a small strain of grey wolf that inhabited India at this time. Furthermore, genetic evidence reveals that the dogs did not accompany the first humans to the New World more than 15,000 years ago, thereby suggesting instead that dogs came to the Americans only 10,000 years ago. A particular study even suggests that some dogs have descended not from the jackal, but rather the wolf. These dogs, which were found in Africa, are said to have possibly given rise to some of the native African breeds today. So you might think whether it is okay to hug your dogs and pups. Overall, yes, it is okay to hug your dogs. However, you should pay attention if they are feeling stressed or angry for some reason, as they may not be the best moment to do it. Puppies usually likes to be hugged. And according to etymologists, the term puppy may have come from word poppy, a French word meaning tall or doy. And few facts about puppies: they develop first sense of touch, which is the first sensory feeling that puppies experience. And puppies have baby teeth during their infancy, which makes sense because they're technically babies. And once puppies reach the age of 1 year old, they are considered as adults. And over 1 million around the world, puppies are born around each year, and they grew very fast. Puppies grow so fast that they usually double their birth weight within a week. And puppies are absolutely adorable, and we absolutely adore them. No matter their size or color, puppies are one of the cutest things we find. And puppies can be very useful for domestic tasks. In some cases, they can even be trained for bigger tasks. And puppies are very good for companionship, and their friendships is healthy for humans, children, babies, and can also benefit them from having them as companions. Today is also National Conscious Uncoupling Day in US. Based on the research conducted in the US, almost 50% of all marriages will end in divorce or separation. Accordingly, it is found that the divorce rate seems to increase after holidays and around tax return time. Conscious uncoupling comes as a prevention from contentious and expensive divorce, prioritizing the needs of the children involved. The day is observed to promote amicable separation, raising awareness of alternative resolutions to prevent families from being damaged by divorce. According to National Day Archives, National Conscious Uncoupling Day was established by King Law Firm Attorneys at Law Inc. in November 2020. As divorce rates increase after holidays and around tax return time, conscious uncoupling can be a way for couples to split while keeping the mutual respect and prioritizing the needs of their children. So we can raise awareness of alternative divorce resolutions, and such as mediation, do-it-yourself divorce, collaborative divorce, and out-of-court divorce. And mediation can be effective divorce alternative, especially for couples that can reach an agreement. Meanwhile, the do-it-yourself divorce is rarely recommended. Although one of the alternatives, it could complicate matters and result in an unfavorable outcome. Collaborative divorce encourages spouses, each having an attorney, to cooperate in coming up with a mutually beneficial agreement. Lastly, through an out-of-court divorce, spouses have the option to work towards a settlement instead of letting a judge decide for them in court. So the word uncoupling has been around since the 1940s as a term for divorce. In 1976, sociologist D.N. Wagon presented an uncoupling theory that talks about a certain point in a couple's separation. In 2009, the term unconscious coupling was coined by Catherine Woodward Thomas and was popularized by actress Gwyneth Paltrow when she used it to describe her divorce from Chris Martin in 2014. Conscious uncoupling is a way to end relationship with an emphasis on the mutual respect, kindness, and deep caring, especially when there are children involved. As a lot of couples or families are at risk of separation or divorce, it is best to help in raising awareness of alternative divorce resolutions. This will help all individuals involved in experiencing less trauma and damage. And would be a good idea to learn about conscious uncoupling yourself, even if you wish to not go through it in your lifetime. Knowing it will help prevent contentious and expensive divorce for yourself or for someone dear to you. And conscious uncoupling is a good option if spouses are currently going through the process of separation Avoiding divorce is better, especially for couples who have children. National Conscious of Coupling Day can be a chance for spouses to consider divorce alternatives first. So it is said that more than 75% of the people who marry partners from an affair eventually divorce. People who have a good marriage feel more satisfied in their lives. And if you long for a happy marriage, trust is the key and most crucial element. Employees with a happy marriage tend to be more productive at work, and around 60% of the divorced men and women reportedly marry or will marry again. And divorce is probably not something couples wish for, but people change, and those changes may affect marriage. The day that can be right time for spouses to remind themselves to improve their relationship and marriage if they want to avoid divorce from happening in the future. And understanding conscious uncoupling may avoid nasty divorce for spouses, which can be traumatic, especially if children are involved. If divorce is the last option, at least spouses are encouraged to do it as amicably as possible. In Poland, today is also Grandma's Day, which is annually celebrated on January 21st, that is today, widely celebrated across Poland, and children and adults give their grandmothers cards, flowers, and small gifts, which are often homemade. Schools and kindergartens may host small events and celebrations on this day. Grandparents are an integral part of the family dynamic in Poland and spend many hours with their grandchildren. According to the research, Polish grandparents spend on average more time than any of the European counterparts with their grandchildren, and their average is around 9 hours per week. Grandparents will also help them with childcare, and instead of hiring a childcare helper, such as nanny, grandparents will adopt the role of a caregiver for their families. And there are 2 different days celebrated for grandparents. Today, that is on January 21st, it is Grandma's Day. And tomorrow, January 22nd, is Grandpa's Day. The separation of these days is a testament to the country's fondness for the older generation. Many other countries, such as United States, Spain, Britain, South Africa, and others have just one day dedicated to celebrating both grandparents. So Grandma's Day was created by Kobayashi magazine in 1964. It began to grow in popularity the following year when the Express Puzanki newspaper began to popularize the new holiday. The Express Westpolny newspaper joined the festivities, and Grandma's Day grew to become popular holiday among the Polish. Polish grandmas and grandpas are referred to as Babcia and Zetek, are known for their treating their grandchildren to sweets and delicious meals. It is noted that this may be a result of growing up during the war or in the rigid communist eras. There are no particular customs or traditions associated with this day, except to spend the day with your grandmother, of course. Polish grandparents on average have 3 grandchildren and lots of opportunities for hugs, gifts, and cards. Of course, adults' grandchildren celebrate this day as well and shower their matriarchs of the family with gifts, flowers, and cards. And the percentage of grandparents who are having longer life are also increasing. And grandparents are also becoming internet savvy. The percentage of grandparents who are online is rising and currently sits at 75%, as they are staying away from their children and are connected through online internet. And grandmothers outnumber grandfathers. Generally, women live longer than men, so there are more grandmothers than grandfathers, but evidence suggests that this seems to be leveling out. And modern grandparents spend generously on their grandchildren compared to previous generations. And the average age of grandparents have lowered over the years, with the average age of grandparents in the United States being 48. And about 60% of the grandparents are still a part of workforce with full-time or part-time jobs. So more than half of them still working. And today is also International Sweatpants Day. Sweatpants are casual, soft trousers originally designated for athletes and comfort. They are made using stretched knitted jersey fabrics with an elastic waistband, drawstring, and sometimes elastic cuff hems. Sweatpants can either be loose and baggy in the form-fitting shapes, using thick or thin materials, and come up with various colors. Outside the United States, they are called tracksuit bottoms, track pants, or trackies. And the history started with the establishment of French clothing, footwear, and sports equipment company, Le Coq Sportif, in 1882. A few years later, in 1920s, the founder Emile Camus designed sweatpants for athletes. These sweatpants were without frills and made with knitted gray jersey pants. In 1926, the American clothing manufacturer Russell Athletic reinvented the sweatpants material by replacing wool jersey with soft, comfortable cotton. A decade later, this innovation was followed by the anti-shrink and heat-preventive designs by Champion, another American clothing manufacturer. In 1952, Champion introduced its iconic reverse view sweatpants clothing line. So throughout the 1950s, sweatpants did not take off, nor it was accepted as respectable dressing. It was mostly confined to gyms and university campuses. While sweatpants were sold together with sweatshirts, they did not get the same level of prestige as later. This is because sweatshirts came with the name of colleges or universities on them. That made it normal to see students wearing their sweatshirts and khakis or jean trousers. With the 1960s and 1970s came more acceptance for sweatpants. Athletes were at the center of attention, and their athletic image became associated with the sweatpants and shirts. In 1980s, sweats were embraced by hip-hop culture. Rap stars made them their top piece of clothing, wearing them in the music videos and for casual street walks. So the introduction of social media in the 21st century took athletic wear to new heights, as their classic looks became associated with fitness, casualness, and a laid-back attitude. As their acceptance grew, more styles were introduced by clothing designers. Today is also National Hugging Day in US. The word hug is believed to come from the word hagga, meaning to comfort, the Old Norse language, first appearing approximately 450 years ago. However, the history of hugging itself is a bit more uncertain. What is known is that is only very certainly with the past 50 years in the West that we have seen a full of acceptance of hugging in public, separating it from other distinguished displays of affection, such as kissing. The widespread adoption of hugging over the recent years in the West had been debated to be due to two primary reasons and reduced formality of dress code and manners between relationships, along with the changing behaviors of political figures in pursuit of a more relatable, warm-hearted perception to the public. Nowadays, we don't even think about the fact that hugging in public was considered indecent PDA. We hug to greet friends and family, to say goodbye or to congratulate someone, to console someone or to show support. We hug before the performance teams begin their match and to show a general sign of affection between intimate relationships. They are also free hug charity fundraisers. Though it is not widely popular and acceptable in Indian culture, in certain communities, it is still accepted and followed in certain small communities. And today is also Thank Your Mentor Day. In US, a day to express our gratitude and appreciation towards your mentor. Mentors are extremely honorable people who help in dire need of life support, not medical support, but in any other kind of support. Sometimes even if your mentor is also a doctor or a medical health professional, even medical life support also, and elevate them from or you from a crisis. These people make remarkable differences in the lives of others so that they deserve a day of their own to be honored as a mentor. So this day, Thank Your Mentor Day, expresses your gratitude the way your mentor would like to make his day. And a mentor does not come to help while seeking a reward or a bounty. A mentor comes out of a sheer concern for you. A basic of human emotions is sympathy, but you can always find hundreds of sympathizers. These sympathizers only pity you or feel sorry for you in your moments of despair or sadness. But in every 100 or maybe 1,000 or maybe in billion sympathizers, you would probably find one has a deeper emotion for you. The emotion is empathy, and this emotion brings out a mentor who would not pity you, would not feel sorry for you, but would make your sadness their sadness and would work with you to lift you out of that tough situation. When the world laughed at you or ignored you, your mentor would make you feel better about yourself by igniting a flame of hope in you. He would make you aware of your capability, which may not be visible to you. And with this awareness, you would find the courage to lift yourself. Again, we do not go into examples, as a concept of mentorship is known to everyone. We can guarantee you that every single person had a mentor in your life. And if you are blessed to have a mentor who still exists, Thank Your Mentor Day is a perfect day to appreciate your mentor in front of him. And if you have spent time with your mentor, you would know about their likes and interests. A surprise fulfillment of that desire would be a greatest way to express your thankfulness. Mentoring is an art and science simultaneously. There is no fixed way to be a mentor. But if you think you are a good listener, have analytical capabilities, and can make yourself available for the person in need, then usually you will be naturally becoming a mentor to someone unintentionally. And one of the way of saying thank you is bypassing the legacy. Be a mentor to someone with all the experience you gain with your mentor and use it to help someone else who is going through the hard time. And those who have a mentor are 90% more likely to be successful in life than those who do not have a mentor. A person learns from his experiences. Those who use their experience to transform the lives of others become mentors. A mentor needs to be available, analytical, and should be also an active listener. A one-on-one traditional way of a mentor, a student is the most beneficial and effective. So with this, we shall conclude today's commemorations and quickly fill up the feedback form so that certificates can be generated. So finally, we would demonstrate you how to download your websites by visiting the website for those new friends who have joined. You can visit the website. The link has been shared in the chat box, and you can also find it on the registration forms. You can click on the daily webinars and conferences. Here you can visit the microsite. Here you can click on the schedule. Then go to appropriate day and the month you have attended the event. So you can just visit any of the day. Say suppose December 31st or any day, whichever you have attended the event, you can just go down. You can select weekdays if it has been on weekday, or if it is on Sunday, you can select Sunday schedule, or if it is on some special day, you can visit here. Till this 31st day was a normal day, though we had planned some special event. We have postponed it to first, so it will be on the weekday. January 31st. December 31st. So here you can see the download link for websites. Here you can see on every page, you can also see the flyer, if any, and also the recorded session video on every page, or you can visit any other. If there are some editing work, or if there is, this is live session, basically unedited as it was streamed live. You can just click on any other date also. And you can see the download link. You will find e-certificates heading, and below that you can see the download. Maybe you can visit January. And Sundays also you can visit here. You can select January month or any month you have attended. January 23, 1st January. So you can just below e-certificates, you can find the drive link. And you can also click on the video and you can listen or watch to that session anytime. So it is being updated now. If some things are not updated, certain events, they will be updated soon. So similarly, you can visit any day of any month and you can download your certificates. They will be there. So you need not worry if they have been not updated. If you can't see this link, it will be updated soon because we have a time frame of 15 working days. It all depends on the completion of formalities by the participant speakers. So once they have completed their formalities, we are giving time up to 15 working days to complete their formalities, though there are no reminders sent to. Occasionally we do send reminders, but sometimes, it's your responsibility to complete all the formalities within 15 working days. So where there are certain formalities to be completed, we are waiting till 15 working days, and after which we are generating this. If everyone is completing the formalities in time, then immediately on the same day also we are issuing certificates. So it all depends. If you see there is no link, then you can assume that there is something still left pending for certificate generations. It might be from the participant side or speaker side. Somewhere some formalities have to be completed. So this is how you can download your certificates. And tomorrow we have an international conference, Sunday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we request everyone to join at 2 p.m. with the same link, and the registration links have been shared in the WhatsApp group. You can in the Facebook group, Telegram channel. So you can visit and register for the conference. So see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.